Morning, sir. This is my topic. It's all about ancient Greek and philosophy. Ancient Greek philosophy laid the groundwork for Western thought, exploring fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, ethics, and logic. It emerged in the 6th century BCE and continued to evolve through various schools of thought. Prominent philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle played pivotal roles in shaping philosophical discourse. Ancient Greek philosophy began in the 6th century BCE and formed the foundation of Western thought. It focused on big questions about life, knowledge, right and wrong, and reasoning. Key figures like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle made major contributions, influencing how people think and understand the world even today. So, pre-Socratic philosophers. The earliest Greek philosophers, known as the pre-Socratics, sought natural explanation for the universe rather than attributing events to methodology. Some key pre-Socratic thinkers include Thales. Thales proposed that water is fundamental substance of all things. In 624 to 546 BCE, Thales is considered the first philosopher. He believed that water is the essential substance from which everything originates. He sought natural rather than mythological explanations for the world. While in Anaximander, his statement is introduced the concept of the aperon, the infinite, as the source of all existence. In 610 to 536 BCE, Anaximander is a student of Thales, right? He proposed also the aperon, the boundless or infinite, as the origin of all things rather than a specific element like water. He saw it as a limitless, eternal source. While in Heraclitus, this is a statement of Heraclitus, argued that change is the essence of reality and introduced the concept of logos. In 535 to 475 BCE, Heraclitus, known for his doctrine of constant change, he believed everything is in flux. You cannot step into the same river twice. He introduced logos, a rational principle that governs the universe. So while in Parmenides, excuse me, his statement said is believe that reality is unchanging and that sensory perception is deceptive. In the late 6th, early to 5th century BCE, Parmenides is argued that change and multiplicity are illusions and that true reality is one eternal, so and unchanging. He relied on logic and reason over sensory experience. So next, Socrates and his philosophical method. Socrates, in 469 to 399 before Christ, and is one of the most influential Greek philosophers. He developed the Socratic method, a form of dialogue that involves questioning assumption to arrive at deeper truths. His ideas were recorded by his student Plato, as Socrates himself wrote nothing. So Socrates was a foundational figure in Western philosophy, right? Instead of teaching through lectures, he asked probing questions to challenge people's beliefs and reveal contradictions in their thinking. A technique known as the Socratic method. This method encourages critical thinking and dialogue, leading to deeper understanding. Socrates didn't leave any writings. Most of what we know about him comes from his student Plato. Next is Plato and the theory of forms. Plato in 427 to 347 BCE founded academy in Athens and developed the theory of forms, which posits that non-physical abstract form such as justice, beauty, and equality represent the most accurate reality. His famous works include the Republic, where he discusses the ideal state and the role of philosopher kings. Plato, although that he is a student of Socrates, right? So he expanded on his teacher's ideas and added his own. He believed also that the physical world is only a shadow of a higher reality made up of perfect unchanging forms or ideas like justice or beauty. According to Plato, these forms are the true essence of reality, while the material world is just an imperfect copy. In the Republic, he outlines his vision of an idealist society ruled by philosopher kings, wise rulers who understand the forms. Next is Aristotle and empirical thought. Aristotle in 304 to 322 BCE, a student of Plato, focused on empirical observation and logic. He categorized knowledge into different fields, including metaphysics, ethics, and politics, and also biology. Aristotle's systematic approach influenced medieval scholarship and continues to impact modern scientific and philosophical thought. Aristotle, who studied under Plato, right? So took a more practical and scientific approach. He emphasized empirical observation, learning through the senses and experience, and use logic to analyze the natural world. Aristotle organized knowledge into different fields like biology, ethics, and politics. So, and laid the groundwork for many modern sciences. His emphasis on reason and observation greatly influenced later thinkers, especially during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. So, Hellenistic philosophies. So, one of the example Hellenistic philosophies is Stoicism, founded by Zeno of Citium. It thought that people should use reason, control emotions, and accept whatever happens as part of fate. So, while in Epicureanism, Epicureanism started by Epicurus. It believed pleasures is the highest good, but true pleasures comes from living a simple, moderate life without pain or fear. So while skepticism, this is called doubted whether humans could ever achieve certain knowledge. and encouraged suspensions of just judgment. So the last is Neoplatonism. Neoplatonism, inspired by Plato, it emphasized the existence of a higher spiritual reality beyond the physical world and soul's journey toward unity with it. Thank you.